Even though it's bearish, it actually gapped up, which is somewhat a bullish sign because it means that there's still demand around this area.
High grade sipping on my liquor. Girls them a come, them a want, them a take her. Batman me a come in, me a wanna take her. Girls them a come, them a want it on the liquor.
AMC has broken that $6.50 support base that it had been building up. So looking at the volume of the session of 20th of December where the price actually broke that $6.50 support, the volume is sitting at 26.8 million, which makes a lot of sense, and there's a lot more than the 16 million volume on the session before. And this makes a lot of sense because generally speaking, when the price wants to break above a resistance or break below a support, it needs to do so with a lot of volume that basically pushes that through. But today's session is bearish. Even though it's bearish, it actually gapped up, which is somewhat a bullish sign because it means that there's still demand around this area. So what's likely to happen now is that the price is likely to head back up and test this $6.50, which was an old support and is now potentially a new resistance. It's going to test it as a resistance just to see if there's a lot of supply waiting around this area. And if it tests it and the price continues falling from that point, then this basically means that there's a lot of supply around that area. There's a lot of sellers, there's a lot of short traders looking to short this stock, which could create a lot of supply in the market and bring the price of this stock further down. But if the alternative happens where the price comes up, tests the $6.50 old support and actually breaks back above it and closes above it, and the next couple of sessions stays above it, this reestablishes the $6.50 level as a support. So this is effectively a false break, which would be good for the buyers because there's going to be a lot of demand in the market, and a lot of the sellers and people who shorted their stock to get it below the 650, they'll start panicking, thinking, you know what, this trade is going against me. I need to effectively get on the other side. I need to buy back to cover for the short sellers, and also I need to get back in the market. You know what, like for those who sold the stock, they'll be thinking, why did I sell? Let me get back in. And in my last video, I mentioned the signal line and the MACD line were moving in parallel, and it wasn't really budging despite there being actual bearish candles in the market. But as you can see, the signal line has dipped, getting closer to the MACD line. So what this basically means is that the demand is getting less, which makes a lot of sense because first, the price is broken below the $6.50 support. Naturally, there's just going to be less demand around that area as buyers will start panicking, thinking, you know what, it's broken this horizontal support. Maybe it's time to actually get out, all of that. So there'll be a decrease in the demand, and you can see that through the momentum. So the MACD at the moment looks like it's heading towards a dead cross. So one of two things could happen in this case. The first one being that the signal line would touch the MACD line, and then there will be a lot of demand coming into the market that sends this price going up, and of course the golden cross will be maintained. And number two is that the signal line would cross the MACD line, basically establishing or initiating a dead cross, which will show that there's a lot more bearish momentum in the market, and this could entice a lot more short sellers, seeing as we're at the end of 2023. So let's have a look at the market from the 12-month, basically just to see the whole yearly candle. And as you can see, basically from 2023, there's been a big bearish move all the way down. But looking at volume, and the volume actually of 2021, as you can see, that was this huge green candle, and that was part of the whole madness that sent this price going all the way up to effectively like $75 and all of that. There's a lot of volume around this area, and even though this candle has broken below this support, the yearly support of $10.22, the volume is actually a lot less, so the volume for the year is 2.5 billion, whereas for 2021 volume was 3.2 billion on the bullish side. So we just need to wait to see. First quarter of 2024 will be an important quarter for AMC. So the reason the first quarter of 2024 will be an important one for AMC is that it will effectively be setting the precedence of where the price is effectively going to go or likely to go towards the whole of 2024. So if we start off 2024 like bullish, so basically re-establishing 650 as a support, heading up, breaking above $8 for a resistance, and heading up to the resistance at $11 and potentially breaking it. So if that kind of move happens in Q1 of 2024, then we're likely going to have a really good year, because like I says, it'll be setting the precedence for where the price is likely to go. What's going on with AMC Entertainment stock? What AMC are doing at the moment? So Wednesday morning, AMC also announced new AMC branded premium gourmet chocolate candies, including chocolate covered pretzels, almonds, raisins, and peanuts. So basically they're coming up with their own premium candies, their own branded candies that people can be buying, which is a good move, because at the end of the day, they need to explore different avenues to make money for the business, and not just like ticket sales for movies, all of that. They're coming up with sort of all these little snacks, all the things that extra ways to make money. It adds that sort of personal touch, adds to the whole experience for the cinema goers, and basically they can have their own candies, AMC. That's a nice touch. This could potentially bring extra revenue for the business, which of course, extra revenue for a business means that the business can do more. It has more capital, they can do more, they can invest in more things, or they can come up with new ideas, more research, all of that into what consumers like, what they don't like, and then obviously providing what consumers like, throwing what they don't like in the trash can in terms of ideas. So although the price at the moment looks really bad for AMC, it's important to know what's happening in the overall market. So looking at the S&P 500, the Russell, the Dow. So the fact that the S&P 500 is also seeing red candles, this could actually contribute to basically the bearish outlook of AMC, because if the S&P 500, if the overall market is looking bearish or looking bullish, this really affects the individual stocks. So individual stocks tend to follow the overall market. So if it's bullish, individual stocks start seeing green candles. If it's bearish, they start seeing red candles. And looking at the S&P 500 right now, the price is between a resistance of $479 and $459. And in one of my previous analysis, I was saying that this was likely to be range bound, or it could be range bound if this resistance doesn't get broken. And that looks like it's gonna start heading down to the support of $459 to test that as a support. And if this support holds, then the price is likely to head back up to test the $479 resistance, or basically just bouncing between the resistance and the support until one gets broken, and the price can continue heading in that direction. So if you then have a look at the Russell 2000, and the same, although the price actually broke above this resistance zone, and it's at this resistance at the moment, the resistance of $197. So if you then have a look at the Dow Jones as well, and the same thing, the price broke above the resistance of $369, but there's some red candles looking like it's going to bring it down to test it as a support. So if it tests as a support and it holds it, then likely going to see some green candles. So what does this all mean for AMC? So that was basically the overall market. Now, if the overall market starts seeing green candles, then AMC is likely going to start seeing green candles. From a technical point of view, unless there's announcements that come out that are very negative towards AMC. So nothing's looking negative from a fundamental point of view of AMC at the moment. So a lot of this stuff is purely just technical, which this really just matches the market. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe. Of course, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any further updates on AMC, as I'll be doing regular updates. In fact, daily updates in terms of price action, and then if there's any fundamentals that come out, you guys don't want to miss any of that. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on AMC. Are you invested? Are you thinking about investing in it? For a chance to win £100, share the video, guys, and comment below if you've shared the video. Let us know, and then I'll put you guys into an automatic draw, and the winner will be announced at the end of the year. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.
High grade sipping on my liquor. Girls them I come, them I want, them I take her. Batman, me I come in, me I wanna take her. Girls them I come, them I want it on the liquor. I steady.